Okay, this should hopefully work. Whew, that was a lot of trial and error. I'm gonna go ahead and double check my website. Okay. Oh my god, that took a lot of work. Apologies. I realize I'm gonna probably have to reset my stream key after this stream because I showed it. And that's perfectly okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm kind of over it at this point. I'm like, guys, I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up. Hopefully nothing hacks my stream. But if it does, I'll probably just reset it in another stream, so I'm not too worried. Anyways, back to the point here. We have the man is frightened by a spider. And yeah, okay, it works. I'm just double checking. Oh no. I know, Hans. He's like, oh no, your stream key was showing. It's okay, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. We're okay. Yeah, I'll just have to reset my stream. Or my stream. Anyways, so before I lost you guys, let me just go ahead and talk about this section here. I mentioned earlier that the man is frightened by the spider. Give it 1 second for this to load. Here. The man is frightened by the spider. So notice how I use the word by the spider. We have basically the subject is affected. So the subject feels some sort of effect. So is affected by an emotion. This is a preposition expression. So by the spider. So we have a prepositional word. And then we have the noun, the subject that's responsible for it, the spider. Okay? So if you notice this right here, by the spider, notice the word about. What do you see that's similar? If you said about and by are preposition phrases, you are correct. They're the same. And you can see the spider, the football game. So we are saying, I, the subject, is affected. So think of this expression, is affected. Oops, let me just zoom in a little bit more. So if you say I am something, you are affected, preposition word about the football game, then that just tells you that this is most likely going to be ED, right? Is affected. Hopefully that little tip kind of helps a little bit. So here we say the meal was disgusting, right? Oh, sorry, we skipped a word. The first question. So the first question is, this movie is really bored or boring? So if you think about it, if you say this movie is really bored, can a movie feel something? Can the movie feel, oh, I am bored, right? The emotion of bored. Does that make sense to you guys? It cannot experience anything, therefore it can cause something. So bored is not correct, it should be boring. This movie is really boring, right? Because a movie can't feel, right? A movie can't feel emotions. It can give emotions to someone to experience, you know? So can't feel it. So it's not experienced by something that's not able to feel something, if you get what I mean. Because it's not, there's a word I'm looking for, but it's like fading through my head. I'm trying to say it's transient. Is it transient? Is the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. Hello, Rista Queen. Thanks for joining. But that's why you don't need that. Next, number 2. That meal was disgusting or disgusted. Again, the same thing you need to ask yourself. For ED, can this Can the subject, not this. Can the subject feel something? Okay, I also need to reset my stream for YouTube because my voice sounds really funny. Okay, there you go. So that meal was disgusting or disgusted. So you want to ask yourself, can it feel something, right? So if you say that meal was disgusted, you're telling me that the meal feels something and it can feel disgusted, right? The meal can react, is what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense because it's not a real thing. It cannot feel anything. Food is essentially not human, so it does not feel something, or it's not something that's able to express emotions. So you're describing something, therefore that meal was disgusting. So another thing you can think of is, I'm gonna put it in blue just so you can have a reference there. That meal was disgusting, describing. Okay, describing, disgusting. Another tip. 3, your lecture was really interested or really interesting. So the right answer, if you are following along with this, can your lecture, something that's not human, feel some sort of emotion? No. Are you describing something? Yes. So you are describing... So I'm gonna put here describing something. So usually an inanimate object. I'm gonna put that as an example. So i.e. in animate objects. Basically, things that cannot feel emotions, right? So there's that. So your lecture was really interesting. So you're describing something. I'm really thrilled or thrilling about our trip. So again, we have our tip again here. We said about. There's your prepositional expression or word. I'm gonna say prep. Prep representing preposition. And you said about our trip. So if it's caused by something, here we are. So something makes you feel an emotion. So anytime you see about our trip, you're kind of saying something that makes you feel some sort of emotion. The answer here should be thrilled. Okay. So I'm really thrilled about our trip. That makes sense. Next question. The movie was very exciting or excited. Hopefully you guys get the pattern now. The movie was very exciting. We are describing a movie. I always feel relaxed after a bath. So again, here we have our preposition. After is a preposition, guys. So we have I always feel relaxing after a bath. We're not describing something, we're saying we're experiencing something, and when we experience something, it's usually ed. So I always feel relaxed after a bath. 7, I'm really shocked or shocking by the news. Again, we have our tip here. We have after from number 6 and then by. Number 7, that should already tell you that the answer is shocked. I'm really shocked by the news. So if we are applying what I observed from these examples, we can see it here again on the top. The fireworks are amazing. We are, again, I'm putting more notes here, describing. And then this one is experienced. Okay. I like to write it like this just so you have some sort of connection You have describing is ing. We have amazing for ing. We have amazed and is experienced. You can technically say you are experienced something, but again, I want to make that association between ed and ing and ing with ing, just to make your life easier. The roller coaster was thrilling. So again, we are describing the roller coaster. So we are describing. They were thrilled. They experienced. So they experienced a feeling. Next, the wasp is annoying. We're describing again. And then he is annoyed. So I'm just gonna point it here. The wasp over here, it's describing. And the last one, the vacation is relaxing. This is describing. And this is experienced. I know, rinse and repeat. I just gotta keep repeating it and then it'll just stick to you guys. So hopefully that helps. Alright, 18.4. Read the article and match the definitions to the highlighted adjectives. We have a film review, sharp suits. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you guys. Actually, before I read it, I like to always go over the vocabulary, so let's take a glance at it. We have the words tiring, fantastic, irritating, puzzled, very sad, and entertained. We want to match it with the words on the right side. Hold on, my rabbit's at the door. Alright, sorry, I had to get Jack. He was outside at the front door. Anyways, okay, so we went over the left. We're gonna go over the right now. We have annoying, amazing, exhausting, confused, amused, and depressing. These are all basically your synonyms. You're finding synonyms here. Okay, and as a reminder, synonyms basically words that are similar to each other. So we have the film review that I'm going to read to you guys, Sharp Suits. Although the chase scene is exhausting, this is a fascinating film. Some may find Julia Mills' quirky performance annoying and be confused by her constant misunderstandings, but her superb comic timing kept me amused. Don't be misled by the comedy, as there are some depressing scenes. The ending is shocking but amazing. This film is this is a summer must-see. Okay, so we have the first word, exhausting. Although the chase scene is exhausting, this is a fascinating film. How do we know that the word is exhausting? It's because the chase scene, okay? So the chase scene is the first hint here, and I'm gonna go in red. So you can kind of deduct from this sentence that, you know, when you're chasing someone, you get tired. So that's gonna make that deduction. Okay, so sorry, my handwriting. Tired. There we go. Then we have, some may find Julia Mills' quirky performance annoying and confused by her constant misunderstanding. So we have Julia Mills' quirky performance annoying and confused, okay? By her constant misunderstanding, but her superb comic timing kept me amused. So we can kind of tell quirky performances means like she's kind of, you know, maybe ditzy. Ditzy meaning like, oh, she's like, I hate to say it, it's like when you watch films, it's the dumb blonde kind of reaction. Dumb blonde meaning like people who are blonde, they have the stereotype in movies that they're not intelligent. Therefore, there's a stereotype called the dumb blonde one, or quirky. So it could be a little bit annoying, having kind of a preppy attitude, kind of airheaded is another way to call it. So what they're saying is that the character might come off as annoying. So when something is annoying, it is frustrating. And it should be here. So we have, let's see, irritating is the closest word that we have. So annoying or irritating, okay? And then be confused by her constant misunderstanding. So basically, confused basically means like, oh, you don't understand, like, why is that happening? So there's a misunderstanding. So the closest word for, do we have confused here? Okay, here, confused. Puzzled. Puzzled is the word. Confused and puzzled by her constant misunderstanding. Puzzled also means like you're confused, you don't understand what's happening. But her superb comic timing kept me amused. Amused meaning like you're entertained. So if you can find the word here, we have amazed. They didn't keep the word, did they? Here it is. Amused. There it is. Entertained. Then we have, don't be misled by the comedy as there are depressing scenes. So this might be hard to understand because they said it doesn't show contradiction of what is sad because they should kind of give you more context clues on that. So if you don't know what depressing is, it's okay. You can use the elimination process. Elimination process means like if you don't know the word, go visit it as the last one, because typically you would find the answer as the last two, as the last selection or so. So here, if you don't know what depressing is, it basically means very sad. So we have depressing, very sad. Okay, and the last one, the ending is shocking, but amazing. The film is a summer must-see. So we do have some sort of deduction skills here that the summer must-see basically means it's really good, that they have to promote it like that. So it must be good. Or it gives the impression that it's really good. Gives, I was gonna say a positive impression. Popular impression. I should have written this in blue, but it's okay. But this keyword kind of gives you that impression like, oh, it's such a good film that you must watch it. Okay, that's what it essentially does. So based on everything here, we are just missing fantastic and amazing. So that's technically the process of elimination. And let me just put that here as a side note. Process of elimination. So again, process of elimination means like if you don't know the answer, put it as the last thing that you're going to revisit. And after you handled answering everything else, you can come back and based on filling out the answer for each other ones, you kind of find your answer. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Next, we have fill in the gaps using the words in the panel. I was thrilled that I won the swimming race. The yoga class was great. I feel very blank. It's blank that the show has been postponed. The film was blank. The special effects were very good. I'm really tired. The marathon was blank. So the yoga class was great. I feel very, and then if you guys have taken yoga is kind of relaxing. So you might find a word that's similar to relaxing there. And of course, they said, I feel. So that tells you this person experienced something. So it would end with an ED. So which one ends with an ED? Relaxed. Good. 2, it's blank, that the show has been postponed. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So would it make sense that we're describing something? It's blank. So you're talking about something that gives you well, not really you receive, like it's something is giving that emotion, you know? So you might hear as an expression, you would say it's annoying or it's exhausting, it's amazing. So number 2, it's blank that the show has been postponed. You might say amazing doesn't make sense because if you like the show and they postponed it, wouldn't you feel either exhausted or annoying? Something negative? It would be one of these two. So again, you don't know which one it is. So let's do process of elimination and skip number 2. We'll come back to that. Number 3, the film was blank. The special effects were very good. We know it's a positive, so it must be a positive. And that is amazing. 4, I'm really tired. The marathon was blank. So we have a keyword here, tired. So the marathon was exhausting. Okay, and there you go. You found the last word that was not that wasn't used yet. So number 2 has to be it's annoying that the show has been postponed. Did I know that the word was going to be annoying? Yes, I do, because it's actually a common expression in our everyday conversation. You could say like, oh my god, it's so annoying. It's annoying that I have to feel like this. It's annoying when my boss is yelling at me. It's annoying when I'm stuck in traffic in LA. It's annoying, blah, blah, blah. So this has kind of become a everyday expression. I think there's a word for it. I hate remembering this word, and it's not in my head right now, which is fantastic, but it's a common phrase that you do use and say like every single day. It has become its own phrase. It's like a package deal. So I know automatically that number 2 was going to be it's annoying, but it's exhausting as well. Could kind of work if you are someone who watches plenty of shows and you went through one season of the show and you went to another TV show and they went through the same thing and postponed the show. It can feel very exhausting that the show has been postponed again, you know? So another thing could be that it could be annoying that Miss Hannah or I keep saying Miss Hannah because it's my job name, my job title. It's exhausting when Professor Hannah cancels the lesson about an hour before the stream, or it can be annoying too, etc. So you can see both of them can work because we know the context, right? But it just really depends on what is the previous sentence or whatever the context is before it. You can tell one of them could technically more correct than the other. So there's that. All right, and also hi Aki, good to see you. All right, we have 18.6, listen to the audio and answer the questions. A newspaper reporter talks to various people about a local library closing down. And then it says, Aki understands why the decision was made, true or false. There's my name. Hannah is annoyed that she wasn't consulted. 3, Mr. Wood is depressed about the news. Mrs. Tana thinks that the committee's plan is funny. I'm gonna go ahead and play this audio once for you guys, and if you need more time, just repeat the audio again. I'm also gonna go ahead and edit the audio, edit the volume so you don't hear this. Okay, lower the audio here, and we're gonna jump back to this 18.6. Okay.
Following the shocking announcement of plans to close Grove Road Library, I'm here to ask the people who use the library what they think of this decision. Dean, you're pleased about the decision?
Yes, I'm excited about joining a new library with better facilities.
And you, Aki?
I'm shocked and confused about why this decision has been made. Grove Road Library is such a beautiful building. The owners should be ashamed.
How about you, Hannah?
I'm annoyed that we weren't consulted, but I can understand why the decision was made. The number of people who use this library is very low.
Mr. Wood and Mrs. Tana, what are your views?
I first visited Grove Road Library as a child, and my parents did too. So I'm depressed about it. A lot of local history will disappear.
Some people think it's funny that the owners have changed their minds so many times, but I'm certainly not amused.
Okay, dokie. Hopefully that was clear with you guys. Alright, number 1. Aki understands why the decision was made. True or false? The answer here was false. Aki does not understand why the decision was made, and Aki sounded very upset after hearing the news. Number 2. Hannah is annoyed that she wasn't consulted. True. She expressed that she was very annoyed that they were not consulted. 3. Mr. Wood is depressed about the news. That is true. And that was because he said a lot of history would be gone regarding this event. And Mrs. Tana thinks that the committee's plan is funny. Excuse me. Mrs. Tana thought the committee's plan is funny. She said some people think that the committee's plan is funny. She said some people. She didn't say herself. So the answer here would be false. Okay? So false, true, true, false. We have key language modifying words. Quite, really, and absolutely can be used to modify how much you like or don't like something. These modifying words must go before the verb. This should be a review for you guys because we did cover this in a few chapters earlier today. I don't remember which one it is, so hopefully if I leave a comment on this section or if I revisit this area, I will update you guys what chapter it's on. But anyways, modifying words is just, again, if you guys remember the degree of like doing something, like I would highly, most like, sorry, did I say most likely? Sometimes, etc. But I think here we're looking at, those are one of the, sorry, I'm just losing my train of thought. So let me start again. So we have the most common ones, which is quite, really, and absolutely. Think of this as like your 70%. Let me put this in blue so you guys can see it as a note here. I'm gonna go 80% actually. 80%, 70 to 80% would be best for quite. Then you have the 80% to 90% really like, and then you got the 100% absolutely. So I quite enjoy cycling. You can use quite before enjoy and like. You have I really like cycling. You can use really before like, love, enjoy, don't, like, and hate. So they gave you specific ones where you can use the word really, and it absolutely goes before love and hate. And this makes sense because if you know the expressions for love and hate is just like 0 to 100 kind of. You either love something or you truly hate it. So it's like absolute. These are absolute like expressions. So if you love something, you really love it to the highest degree. If you hate something, you really hate it, you know? So it makes sense why you would use absolutely to complement love and hate. You can use really like because you can express that you do like something, love something, don't like or hate something. And then quite works more with like enjoy and like. So it's not really touching the love and hate area. So maybe I could modify this and say like 90% to 100%. But it's most likely 100% in this case. So in the UK English, quite doesn't have as strong as an emphasis as really in the US English. In the US English, the emphasis is stronger. I'm like thinking about this for a second. Oh, I see. I see what they're saying. Okay, let me explain. Let me break this down so you guys understand. So, my understanding of this is in the UK English, quite doesn't have as strong as an emphasis as really, okay? So what they're saying in UK English, quite and really are not that big of a difference from each other. They're almost synonyms. That's what they're trying to say. If you come from British English or just UK English, you might notice that they use the word quite and really interchangeably because there's not really that much of a jump between them. Whereas if I say, let's say I'm gonna use a different number here. Excuse me. Move. Okay. Whereas I'm gonna put, yeah, this is gonna be like UK. I'm gonna use red for Americans. I'm probably gonna say at least this is the impression I get as a US speaker. Okay. Okay. And then here, again, this is still the same. This is kind of like my understanding of UK. I might be wrong, so I apologize to my British speakers. But I've been actually watching some British Twitch streamers lately, so I kind of noticed they use the word quite and really interchangeably. It's not that big of a difference, but this is my understanding of it in terms of US English. So American English, I quite enjoy cycling. It's like a 60 to 70% enjoyment. Like, oh, I quite enjoy dancing, but the impression is you probably won't dance as much as you would. If you say, I really like dancing, or like I'm changing it because I'm thinking about my hobby as dance. I really like dancing. So that means I have a higher percentage that I really, really enjoy it. I absolutely love dancing. That means I cannot live a day without dancing. I would die without it. Yes, let's take it to the extreme. So, because obviously love and hate are extremes, right? So I cannot go a day without dancing. I absolutely love it. Means like I will definitely be dancing whether I am on the dance floor, I'm at home, or I'm at work. I will probably just like move side to side and shuffle in my steps, showing that I'm dancing in some way or form. So that's kind of how I understand using these modifiers for you guys. So hopefully that helps you guys understand how to use these expressions. Okay, next we have modifying words, some examples here for you guys. We have, he quite likes playing tennis. So that tells me as a US speaker that he does enjoy it, but it's not something he's obsessed. I would definitely say absolutely love is more of like an obsession level. Oops, let me scoot it back for a second. So absolutely love, obsessed, can't live without. Okay, so my understanding of absolutely means you are crazy in love or crazy hate something, right? It has to be that degree of just like extreme. So for me, I would say I absolutely love singing. You will hear me sing when I'm driving to work, when I'm singing at karaoke, when I'm humming while I'm walking to different classrooms. Like, I cannot live without singing. That is absolute. Like, I'm crazy obsessed with singing as a hobby and actually just enjoying it as like a pastime kind of activity. So that is absolutely, that's my understanding of it. And then I really like something. So for example, some days I can go on without dancing, but it's not like I'm crazy obsessed with dance, right? So I would say I really like dancing, but I wouldn't call it obsessed level because I'm not the kind of person that would go out of my way and attend every single dance event that's available. I only go if it's like, okay, if my friends are going and if it's an opportunity for me to compete and have some fun, I'll do it. But I will not be at that level where I will go to every event because it's so expensive. I cannot handle that much money going to different places, and I cannot live with like not having good sleep schedule because I hate to bring this up, but West Coast swing dancers are crazy. Like especially dance events for West Coast swing, you do not sleep at night. you dance until 6 in the morning, and I've done that a couple times, and for me it's like, it's really fun, I enjoy it, but I can't do it every weekend because it's just too much for me. My body cannot cope with it. So yes, it's fun, but it's not something I would go obsessively over, you know? So you have to be obsessed with it to be okay with it. That's at least what I think. But anyways, I digress. We have, he quite likes playing tennis. So we know that he's not obsessed about it, but he does enjoy it. He really loves eating cake. Oh, sorry, let me fix that. So he quite likes playing tennis. That tells me he enjoys it, but he's like, if I don't want to do it, I won't do it. He really loves eating cake. That means there's a very high chance that he would eat more cake, but of course, it's not something he absolutely loves. There might be another dessert that he likes more or loves more than just cake. She really enjoys playing guitar. Again, we know that this person just really loves, not really loves, but there's like an 80 to 90% that this person enjoys playing the guitar. They would pick it up if they had the opportunity to, but they're not obsessed, absolutely crazy or at an extreme level for their feelings towards playing guitar. I really don't like cooking. 80 to 90%, you're like, I'd rather order takeout. If I have to cook, I guess I will, but I personally don't want to cook. That's the impression I get from this sentence. She really hates waking up early. So this person hates it, but reluctantly means like they're kind of like not willing to wake up, but they will wake up. They're like, I don't have a choice, you have to go. And then there's the last one, they absolutely hate singing. So this person probably either cannot sing or they don't like to sing in front of people, they're afraid, or they might feel self-conscious and insecure about themselves. So there's a high likelihood that they just don't enjoy singing in front of people for some reason. So if they absolutely hate it, you will never see this person sing in front of you, most likely. Okay, common mistakes. Some combinations of modifying words and verbs are wrong. So I quite love cycling. Don't use quite before love. And then don't like or hate. And I absolutely enjoy cycling. Don't use absolutely before like, enjoy, or don't like. So again, the reason, because in grammar, remember, grammar is this extreme, okay? Which is why I provided percentage on this, so you have an understanding on what this is. So you have 60% to 70%. It's like a hit or miss. You kind of enjoy it, you kind of don't. It's not neutral, it's a little bit above it. So if you say something like, I quite love cycling, it's kind of a contradiction because love is more of a 100% expression. It's absolute, right? So this is an extreme. So these two together would be a contradiction. Okay, this is according to grammar. Remember that. According to grammar, quite and love cannot be together because it's a contradiction. Why put something, the word quite, which is 50%, sorry, 60 to 70%. Why put something that's 60 to 70% and pair it up with something that's absolute, which is 100? This does not make sense in grammar. I absolutely enjoy cycling, which is, actually, let me go ahead and color this in black, just so you guys remember. Blue is for conversation exception rules. We're gonna go black for this one. We have quite is 50% and love is 100%. Okay, why did I put 50%? It should be 60% to 70%. So something that's like a hit or miss versus 100%. This would be an example of contradiction according to grammar. Okay, so this is a contradiction according to grammar. You cannot put something that's 60 to 70% with something that's 100% because that doesn't make sense according to grammar rules. Also, we have I absolutely enjoy cycling. You cannot say absolutely and enjoy because enjoy kind of gives that whole 60% to 90% feel, whereas absolutely is a 100% kind of expression. Like, this is an extreme, right? So again, this is an example of contradiction according to grammar. Okay. Don't use absolutely before like, enjoy, or don't like, because absolutely can only be with the 100s, which is love and hate. Don't use quite before love and don't like or hate, because it just doesn't make sense. But again, remember, in 18.9, I'm also going to write this here. This contradiction is okay. Okay, so that's my reminder. This contradiction is fine in speech. It's totally okay in everyday conversation, colloquial, because remember, speech doesn't care about grammar rules. They'll do whatever they want. Whatever that gets your feelings and how you're able to express it, that's all they care about. So if you say, I quite love cycling, it's a contradiction, yes, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you can see that someone does love it, but they're kind of not invested in it. So in the rule of this expression, it shows not committed, loves it, but not sure yet. It sounds like a whole relationship kind of thing, you know, like when you meet someone, you're like, are we together? Are we official? Or something. That's kind of what I quite love cycling feels like. When I hear someone say that, they're like, oh, I quite love dancing. It shows that, yes, they love dancing, but when they put quite at the front, they're not really sure about it. They're not really committed yet. You get what I mean? Like, putting that phrase in front gives that sense of hesitancy. So this is completely okay in speech, colloquial. So, and I'm just gonna say, sorry, not speech, colloquial English. Okay, there you go. So that's the best way I could describe it. Next one here, I absolutely enjoy cycling. I have heard this expression. To me, that just tells me, oh yeah, they totally enjoy it. So the impression I get is this is like 90% to 100% of enjoyment. If that makes sense to you guys. I absolutely enjoy cycling. I absolutely enjoy this party, for example. Yes, that means they really, really like it. It could also be used, the word absolutely is just being used as a modifier. It doesn't really mean anything. Technically speaking, it could not mean anything in speech. It could just be used as, oh, it's an emphasis. That's all there is to it. They're like, oh yeah, I absolutely love this party. And it's just, or I absolutely enjoy this party. It's just funny to me. So again, the blue rules here are colloquial and the black ones are in grammar. Excuse me. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. The rules in English or language as a whole is just funny to me. Hans says true. West Coast swing is late night dancing. Hans, there's no such thing as West Coast swing is late night dancing. That is so wrong of you to say. West Coast swing is late night to morning dancing. Like, there is no sleep. There's no sleep. When you're supposed to sleep is you dance. You're dancing when you're supposed to be asleep. So I would call West Coast swing the sleep dance. The non-sleeping dance. Because you and I both know, like with the most recent event, City of Angel, what time did you go to sleep in the morning? Or what time did you finish? You know, they didn't end till like 5 or 6 in the morning. And they also offered like breakfast. Oh my god, you guys. See, that's what I'm saying. I could not. I'm like with the job that I'm in right now, I'm like, I cannot. And it hurts me because I did enjoy, what is it called? Jack and Jill last year. Jack and Jill was so fun. But it's just like, you know, it just ruined my sleep schedule, though. I couldn't handle it. I was like, 3 days of no sleep? I can't do that. Insomnia, no thank you. Oh my god. Especially with work. And I had to wake up early in the morning for work, too, so I'm just like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Anyways, 18.10. Cross out the incorrect word in each sentence. So again, we're looking for the ones that are truthful or the ones that are following the grammar rules, okay? So number 1, we have the word hate, so we know the word has to be absolutely. We have the word enjoy. We know this word has to be really. Number 3, it's something like swimming. We cannot use the word absolutely because it's not 100%. And the last one, blank, hate driving to work. You can say, I quite hate. No, you can't say that, I think. Because hate is an extreme word. So it has to be really. Quite is like, I kind of, not sure, you know? But again, it is something like these answers that I crossed out. You can say, I quite hate traveling. Again, it's called, the word that I'm looking for, it's called, I keep saying the word ambushing. That's not the word I'm looking for. Hedging. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, thank the Lord. I can't remember these words. So this is an example of hedging. Okay, so if you hear the word hedging, the expression basically means that you're walking around the subject and you're trying, like what I mean by hedging is like you're not being confrontational about it, you're not being direct. You're trying to walk around the subject without sounding strongly opinionated in a way. So if you say, I quite love cycling, you don't want to come off as someone like, oh, I'm obsessed with cycling. No, you want to come off as, oh yeah, I do like a little bit of cycling here and there. I really enjoy it. You notice the way that I'm saying it? That is hedging. It's like I'm trying to give a very light opinion. You're trying to avoid strong opinions. / being direct. That is the whole point of hedging. Avoid strong opinions, being direct about the subject matter. So whatever you're talking about, that is hedging. So on this example, I quite hate traveling to the city. That gives some sort of hedging, like you don't want to come off too strongly opinionated that you hate traveling. But if you say I absolutely, it means completely. I hate it. I hate traveling to the city. Number 2, I really enjoy reading the books. That one makes sense for both colloquial and formal English. That's okay. And then we have I absolutely enjoy reading books. Again, I absolutely enjoy reading books. That feels more of an emphasis. So I'm gonna write it here as an emphasis. If I underline absolutely, I absolutely enjoy reading books. So it feels like an emphasis that they really like something. I absolutely like swimming. That makes sense in speech too, because it kind of tells you they do really like it, but it's not the same energy as I absolutely love. Absolutely love is like obsession level, like you're extremely into it, right? So if you say I absolutely like swimming, it kind of gives off again that whole like you're not really committed to it. That's the best way I could describe it. And then I quite like swimming. Again, it's just like, oh, I do like it here and there, but not all the time. 60% ish. 4, I quite hate driving to work. Again, that sounds like it's hedging. And then I really hate driving to work. Just shows that emphasis that you really don't like doing something. Again, yeah. So that's just my interpretation of this. And you can kind of hear it in speech. We do contradict these rules. But if you are to study for a formal test, it's important to know these rules and try not to confuse them, because a lot of times conversation English doesn't match grammar English. All right, we are on the very last page. We've survived. And Hans answered he got home at 7 a.m. See, I told you, it's not even late night dancing anymore. It's non-sleeping dancing. My God, Hans. But honestly, I do miss it. I really do miss, like, just enjoying dancing all night long. But I'm so tired. I can't deal with it when I have work. We are gonna listen to an audio, and that's the end of today's session. I will only play it once. If you need to repeat it, repeat the time for this, and we're gonna go over it. So I'm gonna go over the pictures, and we're gonna go over the expressions. We have tennis, and apparently this is absolutely love. This is parasailing, I believe. Yeah, parasailing. This one is diving. So I'm just gonna write the notes up here. I might be wrong because I know there's paragliding. I think this is parasailing. This one is diving based on the image. This one is hiking. And the last one is cooking. Okay, so we have our words up there for your reference. I wrote it in blue. I should really remember to change back to black because this is grammar, not colloquial. So again, parasailing. I can't spell. I'm gonna write it very quickly. Parasailing. Diving. Hiking. And then cooking. Okay. Alright, last one, and we're done. So we have 18.11, I believe. I'm gonna mute myself.
What do you feel like doing today, Julie?
I absolutely love tennis, and I see that there are courts nearby. I quite like windsurfing too, and I spotted people on the beach doing that.
Or what about swimming? I really like that. The hotel swimming pool has a diving board, and there is the beautiful beach.
I thought you found swimming frightening, Alyssa.
Only in really deep water. Oh, and I want to hike in the wonderful mountains.
Oh, no, I absolutely hate hiking. I find it too exhausting.
Well, how about we go swimming this afternoon? But what shall we do about tonight's meal? You really hate cooking, so shall I cook?
Sounds great.
Okay, so apparently parasailing, windsurfing. I think we do have the same word. I'm actually gonna double check here. Okay, I am wrong. So I thought it was parasailing, so this makes sense. Parasailing is parascending, paraskiing, or parakiting. So this is something completely different, so that's my fault for that. So they are not the same word. It's also a good thing that I double checked because I don't remember this stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and where's my pen? Parasailing is not the same. Windsurfing. I have not windsurfed before. So with number one, windsurfing, they said, I quite like windsurfing. Okay, number two, diving, she said, I really hate, I believe. Let me double check. I really like, sorry. Number two is I really like. I really like diving when it's shallow. Number three, she absolutely hates hiking. And the last one is she really hates to cook. Wow. So she hates a lot of things. Actually not hates. She absolutely loves tennis. She quite likes windsurfing. She really likes diving. She absolutely hates hiking, and she really hates cooking. That's it. All right. So checklist. We looked at the adjectives with ing and ed. We have feelings and emotions, and we talked about likes and dislikes. So this is everything you guys have learned from chapter 15 to 18. So had I not been on break for a long time, we would have been able to review all of these. We have collocations. He makes a bed every morning. Oh yeah, that is the word I was looking for. I told you. So collocations is also the example that I mentioned earlier, which is it's annoying. ... So it's just an expression that goes together. That's collocation. So it's annoying. ... That's how. You just memorize these phrases that go together. We have present simple and present continuous. I usually cook at home, but I'm eating out tonight. Basically, we talk about a habit that takes place, and then the exception, or happening right now, or happens now. Separable phrasal verbs. We have he is picking up litter. He is picking litter up. Meaning, like, sometimes we can put the noun or the object in the middle between our phrasal verbs. We have comparative modifiers. We talked about ER. He is a lot taller than the building versus the tree is slightly taller than the building. We're seeing like a significance and not so much difference in height. Superlative is like something that stands out the most. The clock tower is easily the tallest building in the town. We can tell that the clock tower is the tallest building out of all of the monuments or buildings around the area. Adjectives with ing and ed, we talked about emotions, like which one tells you that something is describing something. Okay, I think it's the best one I would say is described, and then the man is frightened is experienced. Something that you feel. So I say describing because usually when you're talking about an inanimate object that doesn't usually have feelings, you know, we would typically like to describe what it does, like what it is capable of doing. Or if it's a person that's like, let's say the man, we could say that they're giving some sort of feeling. They're giving out some sort of feeling projecting to us, you know? And then whereas ED is something that you experience. So when you say the man is frightened, he's feeling fear from something that's causing it, you know? And in modifying words, we talked about quite, enjoy cycling, I really like, I absolutely love, etc. So that's 15 to 18. If you guys don't remember it, I recommend finding my English for Everyone chapters. We did go over all of these. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, today was kind of a unique experience because I haven't been on for a while, and it looks like next week we're going to be covering 19 and 20 because 19 is a vocab. Maybe I might just stick to 19 and just focus on pronunciations. We shall see how that goes. But yeah, that's the end of our grammar segment. If I can find where my tab is. Here it is. Okay. We have now arrived at the questions, comments, concern, or suggestions. So again, I apologize everyone. This has been a crazy stream. I'm thankful that you guys were very patient with me, and thank you for being here. Yeah, this has been a wild experience for me and all of you guys. I'm glad that I'm back and I'm able to stream again. I've missed you guys. I've missed this whole experience and whatnot. I was glad that I could share some of my experience and catch you guys up on what has been happening in my life. So tomorrow morning, hopefully everything will be smooth sailing from there. It is going to be a very interesting topic, so I recommend that you guys show up if you can. Also, please tune in to Discord if you guys are in the group. If you'd like to join Discord, the link is in the descriptions below. If you're on YouTube, you can find it in the description. It'll give you the invite link. If you are on Instagram and you're watching this, just go to my profile page, and if you open the link, there's going to be a section that says join my Discord. Click that from there, and you should be able to join the group. So anyways, check out the announcement because that's usually where I announce whether I will be or will not be streaming. I think there's a high likelihood that I will be streaming tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep right away because I'm just tired, and hopefully things work out tomorrow morning. I haven't packed my food yet, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I'll be okay tomorrow morning. I have an hour to get ready anyways, so there's that. And yeah, that's it for this stream. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm hoping that I'll be back and stay continuous from this point on and getting some rest. But other than that, if I do not show up tomorrow, or if I leave you guys a message in the morning saying I won't be able to stream, do understand that is because I am still adjusting to my new sleep schedule, and I'm still kind of on the end experience when it comes to adjusting to sleeping in my normal wake up schedule. As you guys know, I try to wake up at 4 in the morning, and it has been hard trying to come back to that schedule considering that I came from Japan and I'm getting over jet lag. So yeah, it's been a struggle, and I apologize for that because I really want to be here for you guys. But anyways, I will be continuing our stream tomorrow morning unless I am canceling because of recovery. hopefully that's not the case. I will be taking melatonin before I sleep tonight, so I will hopefully be awake on time. And then we have so yeah, conversation practice is Tuesday through Thursday mornings at 5 a.m. English for everyone is 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. This is the first time back, so I apologize again for the late schedule. Everything should be fine starting next week again. So yeah, this is kind of like a soft reset to continuing the session. So yeah, other than that, thank you guys for joining. And I think my Instagram just ended because mine just said live video ended. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream here. So without further ado, I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Stay hydrated. I have my water in front of me. Eat something healthy and sleep well. Please get some sleep. Just like me, I need to get some sleep after this too. Alright guys, I'm gonna head out. Take care everyone. See you tomorrow morning, hopefully.